This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
New at 11, a warning tonight from a woman who reached out to RTV6. What you see online really might be too good to be true.
She put her home up for sale, then found it listed for rent by someone trying to scam potential tenants.
RTV6's Graham Hunter shows you why she's so concerned and what you should watch out for.
For sale, not for rent. That's what the owner of this house wants people to know. She's trying to move, but she found out somebody posted her listing on Craigslist at a steal of a price.
Absolutely a steal. It's less than my payment.
Marcia Stankovich wants someone to buy her house.
It's just really a great place to live.
But she doesn't want anyone to get taken by a scam.
I have heard stories of people giving first and last month rent, big security deposit.
If somebody did that on this house, they probably wouldn't get their money back or a place to stay because somebody out there posted the property on Craigslist as a rental.
It listed the number of bedrooms, bathrooms. It took all the pictures from the inside of the house.
With a price that's too good to be true.
I would not rent it for $700 a month.
Stankovich is worried.
I'm blown away by the possibilities for damage to me and the people that might move in.
About what the fake rental could mean for her.
They might squat in the house, and the person that owns the house would have to go through the eviction process.
Now she has a message to renters in Kokomo.
I just hope that people can realize that a deal that's too good to be true is too good to be true.
And words of advice about how to avoid being scammed.
Do you own this house? Are you an agent? If you're an agent, what proof do you have? What identification do you have?
Unless you're interested in buying.
Call my agent.
Reporting in Kokomo, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
And the Better Business Bureau wants you to know that low-price rent is a common tool used by scammers. They say if a rental price seems much lower than other listings in the area, it could be a scam.
Now to breaking news, multiple victims in separate shootings in Indianapolis. One happened on the east side near New York and Sherman, but we start on the west side near the intersection of Roche and Raider Streets. Police say they found at least 4 people shot at that scene just after 9 o'clock tonight. At this hour, all of the victims appear to be stable, according to investigators. We are working to learn the circumstances surrounding the violence there. We're also working to learn more about the investigation on the east side, where police were called to a shooting around 9:30. Crime scene tape surrounds a gas station and retail store, but police have not given any information yet. We will bring you updates as we learn new details here.
Now to the Storm Team 6 forecast. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is working for you, tracking rain, and it's hard to believe after the beautiful temps we've had lately.
81 today, and check this out. If you haven't stepped outside recently, it is still 73 in Indy, cooler up in Kokomo. Otherwise, temperatures low 70s. Any rain tonight staying to our west. Activity is moving basically from south to north, maybe just a little northeast, but in the early morning hours, we'll see some rain. Temperatures there in the 60s all night long. It will be a very mild start. Let me show you then. Overnight, watch the showers. Maybe a rumble of thunder cut through the state from southwest to northeast through 7 a.m. Take the umbrella in the morning. Periods of rain tomorrow. Temperatures cooler with highs around 70.
Thank you, Kevin. The nationwide measles outbreak has closed schools, led to quarantines, and put parts of the country under a state of emergency. Here in Indiana, there is 1 confirmed case of measles, and 2 more people were diagnosed with the mumps this week, bringing the statewide total to 36 cases.
And Indiana health officials are urging MMR vaccines to stop the spread of these diseases, but thousands of Hoosier families are saying no. Call 6 Investigates. Kara Kenny is digging into why some parents are choosing not to vaccinate their children.
When you enroll your child in kindergarten, the school asks for proof of immunizations. Indiana requires certain vaccines for students, including MMR or mumps, measles, rubella. However, families can opt out of vaccines by submitting a waiver for religious or medical reasons. Data shows more than 500 kindergartners submitted religious or medical exemptions for the 2017-18 school year, including both public and private schools. Statewide, by the end of that school year, 95% of Indiana students had complete immunizations. 3% were in progress, 1.5% had a religious exemption, and 0.3% had a medical exemption. That's 60,000 students without full vaccinations.
The bumper sticker slogan, vaccines are safe and effective. The reason you're seeing an increase in exemptions is because citizens know that that is not entirely true.
Melissa Safura is the co-founder of Indiana for Medical Freedom.
Parents are the ones that need to decide what they do with their own children. That is not the business of anyone.
Her group represents more than 2,000 people, many of whom are concerned about the ingredients in vaccines as well as side effects.
So it's just very important that we preserve our right to say no to what's being injected into our bodies and the bodies of our children.
Has anyone ever accused you or your group of causing these outbreaks?
Of course, that's the first thing they do.
Safura says another reason parents are hesitant to immunize, people vaccinated with MMR are still getting the mumps.
So there is a failure with that particular vaccine, the MMR.
Monroe County has 32 of the state's 36 mumps cases. Almost all who got sick had been vaccinated with MMR. At a recent news conference at IU, health officials said 1 dose of MMR is 78% protective against the mumps and 2 doses is 88% effective. 2 former Merck scientists filed this federal lawsuit accusing the maker of the MMR vaccine of falsifying test results and overstating the effectiveness against the mumps. We took our questions about MMR to the medical director of infection prevention at Riley Hospital for Children.
The more people that are vaccinated, the better the community is protected.
So you're saying it's still better to have it than not have it?
Yes, if you just look at the number of cases of mumps that are reported in the United States, it's very small compared to how it used to be.
Dr. John Christensen also points out MMR is extremely effective against the measles, 97% with 2 doses, according to the CDC.
I have had a star soccer player from a city here in Indiana die of measles encephalitis, preventable disease.
Was he vaccinated?
Unvaccinated.
Dr. Christensen says there are some legitimate reasons to refuse vaccines, such as a compromised immune system because of cancer.
My child's arm hurt after the vaccine. That's not a good exemption. Or, for example, given an exemption because, he was tired for 2 or 3 days. That's not an exemption.
Christensen says there's an entire industry that will help families get out of vaccinations.
There are many people who declare a religious exemption and nobody questions it, okay? And that's where some of the problems lie. I've become a believer throughout the years that having mandates and taking away exceptions, it may be a good thing.
It's too easy right now, you think?
It is too easy.
Call 6 Investigates reached out to the maker of the MMR vaccine, Merck, and they told us the vaccine has proven its effectiveness by dramatically reducing these diseases in the United States. The lawsuit filed against Merck is still pending 9 years after it was filed in federal court. Merck says the scientist's claims about MMR have no basis in fact and are without merit. In addition to required vaccines, Indiana also has a list of recommended vaccines, including the flu shot and HPV. If you have questions, you can talk to your doctor or research on the FDA's website. Kara Kenny, RTV6.
New at 11, emotional testimony in Franklin in the fight over answers over possible contamination in the community.
Power behind your voice is what will get answers.
The Environmental Protection Agency hosted a listening session at Basin Hall this evening. There have been ongoing health concerns in Franklin after dozens of pediatric cancer cases from 2008 to 2018. A cancer-causing chemical has been found at an old industrial site in town. And last month, testing at 2 Franklin schools showed a higher than recommended level of contaminants in the air. Michelle Dahl now homeschools her 2 kids.
I believe that the testing that they did, the results were accurate. However, I know that there is contamination in the area regardless, and I could not send my children back without knowing that there was a comprehensive plan to clean up the area.
Well, the district did additional testing and says those tests showed the air at schools is now safe.
And tonight at Hamilton Southeastern School Board meeting, dozens of supporters spoke in favor of a proposal they say will protect students in a different way.
I have heard many students calling my transgender friend by her given name rather than her preferred name. People have repeatedly called that friend gay, harassed her for expressing herself, and treated her poorly simply because of who she is.
The school board passed a new anti-discrimination policy. It includes gender identity as a protected class. A vote on the issue failed last month, which led to backlash. Here's the reaction after tonight's decision.
Motion passes. I've never felt such a heavy weight lifted off my shoulders, and it's the most satisfying feeling ever. I'm a cadet teacher and for kindergartners, and they're the class of 2031, and I can say that they're going to feel protected.
The policy also means an HSE school could discipline a student teacher or staff member for harassment or discrimination.
Police say the truck driver seen in this video ignoring a bus stop arm has been identified and charged with reckless driving. Working for you, we first showed you this video yesterday after a parent reached out with safety concerns. Parents who live along Walnut Street in Greencastle say drivers speeding past the school bus is an ongoing problem. After our story aired, the Putnam County Sheriff's Department posted a message on Facebook saying many people probably saw the RTV6 story. The department says the resolution is a perfect example of how citizens can help make a safer community. If you have a safety issue in your neighborhood, reach out to us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Literally every state I can think of would have loved to have had this plan.
A major manufacturer picks Central Indiana, what the future facility means for future jobs. Plus,
our message is simple. This has got to stop. We're not going to tolerate it.
The crime spree that has the Marion County prosecutor sharing that warning. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
Sponsored by Turning Point Dental and Duncan. This is RTV6 News at 11. Working for you.
New at 11, the search for a killer in Zionsville is over. Police arrested 23-year-old James Hughes in connection to a deadly shooting. Hughes is charged with murdering Samuel Bennett. Bennett's body was found near Big 4 Rail Trail on April 28th. Hughes is being held without bail. If you notice smoke billowing near Indianapolis International Airport this morning, this may be why. An armored truck caught fire at the Crown Plaza Hotel on South High School Road. These are pictures from the scene. Wayne Township firefighters say smoke could be seen for 2 miles away. No one was hurt.
A colorful crime spree that may seem petty could have serious consequences. There are more reports of paintball attacks across Indianapolis. Now, we've been following cases of paintball vandalism for weeks now. RTV6 spoke to a man in Fountain Square who says he was sitting on his porch last night when a car drove by shooting paintballs at him. One grazed the side of his face. Neighbors are concerned.
Just wish people had a little bit more sense about them and thought about their actions and the consequences they have for others.
The Marion County prosecutor is warning shooting paintballs could lead to prison time.
Even if you don't strike someone, if someone is in the vicinity, we can and will charge as criminal recklessness.
The prosecutor's office recently charged a man with battery using a deadly weapon for allegedly shooting a 60-year-old man in the face with a paintball gun.
A global defense and security company will be hiring hundreds of Hoosiers in the coming years. Saab is opening a new advanced manufacturing production facility in West Lafayette. It will manufacture TX advanced pilot training aircrafts, which will be used to train future Air Force pilots. Governor Eric Holcomb says this is another feather in Indiana's cap.
To have world-class companies like Saab, like GE Aviation, like Rolls-Royce, all come together, all manufacturing different yet similar products, all making the world a safer place. This is a proud and patriotic day for every Hoosier.
Officials say the company will create up to 300 new jobs in the state. Construction and hiring is set to start next year. You can learn more by going to hiringhoosiers.com.
I was liking those 80-degree temps today, Kevin.
Second time in 2019, we've made it to 81 degrees. We won't have a third time.
Oh, no.
At least in the 7-day forecast.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
We'll have many more, obviously, for the year. 73, that's still our current temperature. That is pretty amazing. That's above our average high for this time of year. Just a touch of humidity around today. Before I talk about more rain, let me say this. Beyond the 7-day forecast, indications are through the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley below average precipitation is on the way. Maybe we get a break from this almost daily pattern of rain. We've had 4 days in a row, though, without rain, so we're due. Here's a cold front just to our west. It will push rain that's in Illinois into the state overnight and into the morning. Then we'll continue to see periods of rain tomorrow. That's our best chance for showers and thunderstorms. We're dry and dramatically cooler Friday. Chance for showers over the weekend, about a 40% chance on Mother's Day. We'll see some rain showers. Let's talk about rainfall potential. This isn't just tonight. This is through Friday morning. 1/2 inch to 1.25 inches in spots. You know how thunderstorms work. A good downpour and you can pick up 1 inch in a couple hours period of time. Temperatures tomorrow, nowhere near 80. We'll be closer to 70, and then we stay well below average right on through the weekend into the early part of next week. As far as severe weather threat tomorrow, the best chance or stronger storms will be Gulf Coast all the way up into the Ohio Valley along the Ohio River. As you come into central Indiana, there's a low or marginal risk for severe storms. Temperatures that start in the 60s stay in the 60s tomorrow. Morning round of showers and thunderstorms, another in the afternoon ahead of the actual cold front. 7 a.m., there's some active weather, not expecting severe storms. Mid-morning, another batch of showers and thunderstorms cutting through southeast Indiana, and you'll begin to see a line here. How well defined it becomes depends on the earlier rain in the day, but 7 o'clock tomorrow night, some showers and thunderstorms that will begin to pull away 24 hours from now. Then the cooler air arrives. Temperatures staying in the 50s on Friday. That's quite a shock from our 81 today to 59 on Friday. And as you look at other temperatures around the region, generally in the upper 50s to low 60s. Here's your 7-day planner. As I mentioned, 20% chance of rain. That's on Saturday. Mother's Day, temperature of 63 degrees. Will be a little warmer as we get to early next week.
Kevin, thank you. RTV6 is celebrating 70 years together on the air and working for you in central Indiana.
And leading up to our big anniversary on May 30th, we are bringing you back to major moments in Indianapolis sports history.
Like July of 1977 and a defining moment for the Pacers. The team had just finished up their first season in the NBA, but financial trouble was brewing. The ownership group realized they needed to sell about 2,200 season tickets to bring the total to 8,000, giving the team enough money to keep going. Facing a tough deadline, Nancy Leonard, assistant GM and wife of coach and GM Slick Leonard, had an idea to put together a telethon. She got it done in just 10 days. From 10 p.m. on July 3rd to 2:30 p.m. on July 4th, the telethon took place in the 500 ballroom of the Indy Convention Center.
We're going to put this over right now.
Players, trainers, and volunteers all answered phones. Mayor Hutnut was in the crowd. RTV6 aired part of the telethon live. Donations went toward tickets that were purchased and given to charities. 10 minutes before the deadline, they surpassed their goal, saving the franchise and keeping the Pacers and the NBA in Indianapolis.
We're at 8,028.
You know, that's just super. When you get this kind of emotion over a basketball team, you know, and all the people that contributed all this time and everything, it's just out of sight, you know. This thing has rejuvenated Indianapolis.
Well, Slick Leonard is, of course, still a member of the Pacers family. You can hear his signature boom baby during radio broadcasts. You'll see much more of Indianapolis sports history during our 70th anniversary special at 7 p.m. on May 30th. You can also find more stories from our archive and memories from RTV6 staff, past and present, at the IndyChannel.com/70 years.
It's always fun to go back and see those things.
Yeah. Can you believe that? 10 minutes before the deadline, finally they surpassed what they needed.
Look at that. Well, next in sports, a new Trackside 6 segment, 2 for the Road, will help you get to know the true personality of IndyCar drivers. We start with 5-time series champ Scott Dixon after the break.
at Ross. Yes for less.
A reminder, tomorrow night is our first Trackside 6 special of the month, an exclusive with Mario Andretti as he celebrates the golden anniversary of his Indy 500 win. Day first travels to historic Nazareth, Pennsylvania, to see where it all began.
And plus, checking in with the workout warriors, Scott Dixon and Tony Kanaan. The future is now with IndyCar team owner George Michael Steinbrenner. The fourth in our Throwback Thursday, 40 years ago with Rick Mears. Exclusive stories tomorrow night at 7:30. Until then, it's a new Trackside segment, 2 for the Road.
Here's Dave.
All right, hang on, Garfield. Love this one. In this episode of 2 for the Road, we've got 2008 Indy 500 champ Scott Dixon, also a 5-time NTT IndyCar Series champ.
2 for the Road, sponsored by Indiana Farmers Insurance.
Look at who you see around these streets, mate. What's going on?
What are you, thumbing?
Yeah.
What happens?
Oh, my car's broken down. No.
You could probably help me out with this. I've been looking for this guy.
Oh, yeah.
For years now.
How old I look there. Huh?
What, is this you?
That is me, mate.
What happened to the red hair,
I
man?
got down to, well, it was a bit of a bet with an engineer, and we won a race.
Red roots.
Look at that specimen, mate. What a looker, eh? What a looker. And that was when I was on like a major, I don't know, calorie count thing. So I think I got down to like 135 pounds or something.
So you're still proud of your red roots.
I'm a proud ginger, man. Ginger ninja,
okay.
Ginger rules.
Because there's only so many of us out there.
Well, it is a dying race, you know, and I've definitely been trying to help that, you know. And Poppy, our oldest, is very red. Yes, she's red-haired.
Yeah, let me see if I get this straight. So born in Australia, grew up in New Zealand.
Yep.
Is that like, you know, being born in Bloomington and living in West Lafayette or something?
Yeah.
How does that work?
No, it's a bit harsher than that, to be honest.
Really?
It's kind of like a Canada and America thing. I actually have dual citizenship with Australia and New Zealand, but I claim New Zealand. And New Zealand's a much nicer place than Australia. Have you met anybody from Australia? You know, you probably know that guy, Will Power guy or something. That explains everything right there.
I understand now. Makes complete sense. Yes.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Most embarrassing moment for you in a race car? You ever look back and go, oh man, I'm sorry anyone actually saw that?
Well, the most embarrassing moment in a race, I've actually had a few of them. My first Indy 500, when we had the massive crash, TK and I in Japan broke, pelvis, hands, ankle. And then the race was actually going really well. We had some problems, but I think I was running 6th or 7th at the time. And then that late caution that I spun on the front straight and hit the wall. Yeah, that was a pretty sad moment. I did that at Watkins Glen. I was leading and Briscoe was second. I spun warming up the tires. There was like literally 5 laps to go, and I took myself and Ryan out, first and second place. So I don't know. There's a long list. I've tried to learn.
A 5-time champion. There's a long list of embarrassing moments.
Yeah, I've done some stuff, mate. I've done some stuff. It's not proud moments, but I like to think that I've learned from them.
All right, we're here. Tea's Meat Cafe. Want some tea?
Some tea, yeah.
I'm in.
Yes, please.
Very cool.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
How are you guys?
We heard you have some tea here. Is that right? I'll try fruity.
I'm going to go English breakfast, please. I'm going to go traditional. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, there you go. 2008 Indy 500 champ Scott Dixon ready to go for number 2 on the race day. Good luck, man.
That's right. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Weather than anyone else.
New information on breaking news. Police say a 22-year-old is dead after a fight led to gunfire on the east side of Indianapolis. Investigators say 4 people were involved in the confrontation near Sherman and New York around 9:45 tonight. You'll want to stay with RTV6 for more updates as we learn more.
Tomorrow, rain, some thunderstorms around at times through the day. Temperatures won't be as warm. 70 for the high.
Well, thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news.
Got it.